Hello guys, Spicy Rens here, and today I'm going to do another history video, and today is about the Monte Carlo. And today is the joke of the day. As you can see, why. So the first generation Monte Carlo started from 1970 to 1972. This is the SS model. SS model. And this is the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift model, and all of them came with a 2-speed automatic, 3-speed automatic, 3-speed manual, and 4-speed manual, 454. They also came with 454's turbojet engines. Actually, all of them came with turbojet engines. Crazy. For the fact that a modern car, some don't even have a V8 option, so it's kind of cool. And this is the second gen specs. As you can see, basically the same engines as the first gen, all having V8s. And they also had 305 and 350, all legendary V8s, but this time they only came with 3-speed manual and 3-speed automatic. This is like back in the 70s. So this was from 73 to 79, 78, 77 I mean. They were based off basically they're like the Chevelle pretty much. Just like the first gen. Basically no point of building them anyway. They were like, I think they were body on frame. Nah, there weren't. Yeah, there were body on frame, A bodies. And then we move on to a third gen. Fun fact about the third gen is that that was Vin Diesel's first car. This time they actually offered a V6. These were like one of the best lowrider platforms. And this was also, I think, an A body. This time they had with a 200 cubic inch 90-degree V6, and they also had 3.8 liter V6. That was Chevy, and then they had 3.8 liter Buick V6 and a 4.3 liter V6. Basically, I think the Vortec, basically same engine as the Vortec and the S10s, as well as a very small 267 cubic inch 4.4 liter V8, basically bump and displacement. And then they had the 305 and the 350s. Those were borrowed engines from other GM products. Then you move to like the fourth gen. The fourth gen is really when everything started going good, like the peak of the Monte Carlo of the 20th century, at least. This was like an aero coupe. Basically, I took too many pictures of aero coupes. And this is a V6 model. And they also had a turbo model, but I don't think that lasted very long. And these had a Chevy V6, and they had a Buick V6, and then they had a 4.3 liter Vortec. I call it a Vortec. Then they also had a diesel, which is pretty cool. They had small block, a 305 and a 350 V8, and small block V8, and a 3.7 liter diesel V8, which I find very cool. And they were also based off the Regal, Cutlass Supreme, and Pontiac Grand Prix. This is another aero coupe. And then this is another aero coupe driven by Dale Earnhardt Sr. So then we go into the 5th gen, and as strangely enough, it's basically a front-wheel drive car. Now, I didn't show the engine specs because it wasn't really anything to be excited about. It had a 3.4 liter V6 found in Alumina Z34, as this is a Z Sport, same thing. And they're actually based off Alumina, so pretty much identical actually, same background. See, they based off the Alumina as well. The base had a 3.1 liter V6, and the Z34 had the 3.4 liter V6. I really don't know about the 98 and 99 models, so can't really tell you. This is a pace car, and then I think this is the what you call the 5th generation. No, not fifth, sixth generation. I don't think it had the same engine as the Z34, like the base. No, it just had a different V6, not the same Z34 V6. And this was based off the Century, Regal, Impala, Intig in the Pontiac Grand Prix. And then they had a supercharged V6. This is a turbo LS swapped version of it, as you can tell. This is not this. They use a basic Monte Carlo, and then you have the Intimidator concept. And I think a lot of people are kind of mad that the Monte Carlos were front wheel drive. I think this is the Jeff Gordon edition. Yeah, Jeff Gordon edition Montes. And over here, you know, the engines aren't really noteworthy. We don't really care about the base engines, but this one had an LS4 engine. Crazily enough. This is another Monte Carlo. The rear ends has changed as well, and then it basically is a two-door Impala. It looks 100% like an Impala coupe, which is the previous one looked like a different car. And see, and it had a transverse mounted V8, 5.3 liter V8. Very cool engine. Made good for like 303 horsepower, which is basically they were making that back in like 2000. Like I think this is like the fastest front wheel drive car at the time. But just now the fastest front wheel drive car is the Honda Civic Type R. But this is like what the final Monte Carlos could have looked like. And this is another. This is actually one of the official pictures of from the Monte Carlo forums of the final Monte Carlos that they produce. Now, this is not a Monte Carlo. This is Photoshop. Shout out to anyone who photoshopped this, but this is what. So let me talk about the future of the Monte Carlo. And the future of the Monte Carlo isn't that there is no future of the Monte Carlo. Basically, all hope for a new Monte Carlo is down ever since GM announced that they're going to kill off the Impala. And yeah, and coupes, they aren't really as what they used to be. And yeah, a personal luxury coupe doesn't really match this market. Basically, it's now just Aston Martins and Lexuses, and not Chevy and Fords and Lincolns and Cadillacs. But yeah, so maybe in the future we would see a new Impala. Now, also they would have ruined the Monte Carlo anyway, because the Impala was front wheel drive, but it didn't have an SS model. And I think a lot of people were disappointed with it. It was a beautiful sedan, and also they're killing off the Taurus full size, as well as kind of questionable about the Chrysler 300. And there's not really much of a competition of the full size sedan segment as it used to be. Hence why should a full size coupe be even an option? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Monte Carlo video, and comment if you want to see the Monte Carlo back again. Anyway, Spicy Wren signing out.